Hey everyone, and welcome back to DIY with Melissa. I'm Melissa, and today we are going to go through something that's mainly for beginners, but that's not to say that some of you seasoned crafters may not get some help from this video. You have your Cricut, you've taken out the box. Um, Maybe you are a little confused where to go from there. But as you may know, Cricut does have a very detailed um, instruction card or book that comes with your Cricut that explains how to set it up. So I'm just going to just quickly go through that. You know, you have your Cricut. This is my Explorer. My Explorer, this is what I'm going to, the black one actually. You're going to plug your power cord into there and then plug it into your wall socket. Um, I don't plug it into my laptop. I use Bluetooth to connect it. If you are not um, if you're not wanting to use Bluetooth and you want to connect it, then by all means use your cord, connect it to your laptop. So from there, I'm going to go to the computer, and I'm going to show you how to download the software. And then I'm going to go and tell you what every single thing is in Design Space, what it's for, what it does, give you some quick tips and tricks on using Design Space. And I think this would be amazing, like I said, for beginners, but also for some more seasoned crafters who use Design Space, but not maybe so regularly, and has seen some of the functions that are available, and you're not 100% sure what it does. So let's head over to the computer, download Design Space, and get started. All right, we are back at our computer, and we have our Cricut out of the box, plugged into an outlet. We're going to use Bluetooth to connect it. I'm not plugging it in. I have never done that. But of course, if you are more comfortable with that and your laptop and your Cricut are close to each other, then please use the cord and plug it in. Well, then when we're in Cricut.com, at the top left-hand corner, you'll see it says Design Space. Let me click on that. So I do have Design Space already downloaded, so it keeps opening it up for me. To their terms, and we'll click on download. When you click on download, you'll see it's downloading. It's going to go into your downloads folder. We're just going to wait for it to finish. So you'll have this exe available once you download Design Space. You will double click on the exe, which will then start downloading Design Space for you. I'm just going to cancel out because, as I said, I already have it downloaded. Once that is complete, and if you have any issues at all with any of this, leave a comment. I'll see if I can help you. And if I'm not able to help you, Cricut's customer service is really, really good and will actually walk you through how to do this if you're having issues for whatever reason. A big reason that I have seen online is your laptop may not be compatible with Design Space because of the age of the laptop. So if you contact Cricut, they'll be able to give you a better idea of what could be the issue. Like I said, send me a note or leave me a comment, and I will be happy to help if I'm able to. So once it's installed into your computer, we can open Design Space and you can start getting logged on. As you can see, I'm logged on here with just my email address, and you put a password in and it gets you into Design Space. So now that we're in Design Space, this is where you are going to be doing all of your creative work. You may have seen some of my other videos of me in Design Space showing you how I went about designing things. This part here, images for you will notice if you were looking for anything, all of a sudden it's going to give you ideas. So I recently made the coasters, and I also did the champagne glasses. I personalized the champagne glasses and also made personalized coasters as well. So this is where it says images for you. The reason why you're seeing this now is dependent on what you've been searching through images for. So just keep that in mind. Projects for you are some more inspirational things that you can make. And then it will give you some new fonts and different projects that they've categorized, which is really nice to see. Actually, these are really nice here. So if you're ever feeling like you're not inspired, you just don't know what to do, come check these out. You might see something that you like. We then have Inspire, which is very similar to what we were just looking at. And as you can see, many of the projects are exactly like what we were just looking at. So it's just another spot. My stuff, of course, is all of your projects that you've completed and saved. And as you know, I've been cricketing for a long time, so I have a lot of projects. Get started is probably where you're going to start. Cricut will give you a couple projects in your box, so that's where you would start or could start. If you're still learning, these are different projects that you can do to just get the hang of what's going on. The next one is Cricut Access. I'm not going to click on it because it does show some personal information. I do have Cricut Access. I pay for it on a monthly basis. You could pay for it on a yearly basis, which will save you some money. However, you don't have to. There are free images that you can use in Cricut Access or in Cricut Design Space. And then you can also upload designs and things like that. I personally love it. I love to be able to just go into images and pretty well pick anything I want and be able to use it. So that is why I have it. I hate not being able to use something and then I go to Google and search for it and then hope that the image is good and etc. etc. I don't like the headache. So I pay for Cricut Access. Your heat guide is exactly that, the heat guide for all of your HTV projects. Depending on what heat press you have, you can search up what temperature something should be at. I have the Easy Press 2 so I use this a lot, and I actually use it for the big heat press, which is similar to Cricut's Auto Press. I don't have their Auto Press, so I do have the HTV Ront press, and I do still use this sometimes to just look up different temperature settings for different material. It just gives me a generalized idea if I'm not too sure. That's it for there. To get to your canvas, you can click on New Project. There's a blank canvas, or there's some more inspiration if you need it. The other way to get to the canvas is just by clicking on Canvas at the top left corner. There's a tab. We can click on that, and that also brings us to Canvas. Now that we are in the canvas, you'll see on the left-hand side, we have all of these options. New will just take you into a new canvas. Templates. Templates are really good for projects that you are trying to create and you just want to see what it looks like on a template. The major one that I use is usually the classic t-shirt one. This will not cut. This is just for reference only, as it says at the top here. And if I have a t-shirt that I'm making and I want to see what it looks like in the size that I want it, I can go ahead and change the type of t-shirt that I'm using and the size of the t-shirt as well. And I can just place the decal here or here to see what it would look like on the project. The next thing is projects. So this is very similar to what we were looking at the front there. Again, just lots of project ideas that you can look through and make, or just inspire you to create something similar. That's also an option as well. Shapes. All the different shapes that are free are up here. The line is a scoring line, and everything else is just a shape. If you pay for access, you will get some extra shapes like so. So just keep that in mind. I do use these a lot. Again, like I said, I just really enjoy my access membership. Images. This is going to give you a bunch of images, and you can search through free images. So there you have it. Those are the free ones that you will get with your with logging on and creating a Design Space account. So it's a little limited, but it's not bad if you're a beginner. Editable text. Cricut recently started with this. If you see anything with this blue on it, it means that you can edit the information that's there. So, for instance, this pencil, instead of writing Emma, you can change it to Melissa, Kevin, Sophia, whatever the case may be. So, this one was really nice because prior to this, you could not edit it. You had to do a lot of manipulating to get it to a point that you want to use. You can also bookmark projects that you see. Let's say, for instance, you really liked this decal. If you click on this little symbol here, if you hover over it, it says bookmark. This is going to bookmark your project. You can add it to a collection. So I have different categories that I could potentially save it to, or you can just bookmark it. When you go to bookmarks, there's your project. If I see something on Facebook or anywhere on social media that I really like, I tend to bookmark it so I can come back to it later. We have uploaded. These are things that I've uploaded, whether it be from Google, Canva, um, Creative Fabrica, wherever the case may be. I can go ahead and find them here. There are other places you can find them as well, so just keep that in mind. And then purchased. The purchase portion, it says purchase because I pay for access. But let's say you were to just purchase an image. So for instance, this image is $1.39. If you wanted to use this image, you could go ahead and use this image by itself and pay the $1.39, and then you'll find your purchased image right here. Operation type. We have cut only, draw only, print then cut, cut plus draw. So your print then cut is likely images like this, where you are not going to be able to um, cut this out with vinyl. It's quite elaborate, so it'll be a lot of work to do this out of vinyl. So print and cut will allow you to create these stickers. Or you could even print and cut to cardstock for, let's say, a cake topper, for instance. So that's what this would be. These are really cute. Cut only means exactly that. You're just cutting a design. This is quite elaborate and will be a little difficult, but not impossible to do. And that's what these cut ones are for. There may be layers to it. So, for instance, this flamingo has layers because there's black, there's pink, and then there's a light pink. Draw only. So, Cricut can write for you and create pretty designs. A lot of times I will use the draw function to write, but I'll also use it to create activity books and um, that sort for the kids. So for instance, I could potentially get Cricut to draw this cupcake and the kids can color it in. There are your images that can be drawn. Cut and draw. Means exactly that. So a lot of times I will use Cricut to cut, let's say, a card and write inside the card. So it's going to write, happy birthday, hope you have a fantastic day, for instance. It will write that in the card and then it will cut the card portion out. That's what the cut and draw means. Layers. Single layer projects would just be a shape or things that are the exact same color. So it's going to cut all of this out of your material. This type of thing, you're probably going to use vinyl, but it doesn't have to be black. It can be pink, orange, green, whatever the case may be. You could potentially cut this out of cardstock. This is going to be difficult. However, these would be perfect for cardstock. These will also be difficult for cardstock, but put this in and you use permanent vinyl, then this will cut as one. Or you could also draw it because it's looks like it's for coloring. I'm not sure. Multi-layers means exactly that. Means that you are going to cut a few different colors out of some material. So we're back to the flamingo. We would cut, let's say, the black out of cardstock, the pink out of cardstock, and the light pink out of cardstock as well. So you'll have 3 layers that you'll be cutting with your Cricut machine. Project type. Cricut has watercolor markers, so these are the projects that you would use if you wanted to use watercolor markers. If you had a project that you want to stencil, you can create a stencil with Cricut and use it on cardstock or whatever the case may be. 3D projects, exactly that, 3D looking projects. So this turkey has a bunch of layers on it, so it's going to look a little bit raised. And then the flowers, the roll flowers are the biggest one, I would say, with the 3D projects. But there are your options there. Cards, just a bunch of cards that you can use and create for any special occasions. Or if you're selling these cards, and you can choose out of all of these and make them. Just be careful. Cricut does have an angel policy with regards to using images from Design Space and selling them. Please read that if you are planning on selling your projects. Phrases, projects with phrases. I mean, we all know the live, love, laugh kind of projects that we see, stay positive, goal digger, so many different things. So that's what these are, just giving you some options. Mug designs. Cricut, as you may know, Cricut does have a mug press, and you can go ahead and press mugs with it. And you can choose from these types of designs to to create a mug. These would be used with infusible ink, but if you eventually get a sublimation printer, you can also just print it on your sublimation printer and sublimate it. And then, so we have 12-ounce and 15-ounce mug projects. That's it for project type. Material type, all the different types of materials that could possibly be used: acetate, chipboard, crepe paper, crepe paper, faux leather. That'd be cool to create something like this, like an earring or something. Infusible ink. So infusible ink, as I had mentioned before, I talked about the infusible ink a moment ago, but infusible ink is similar to sublimation ink, except that it's a roll that looks like a roll of vinyl, and you cut it with your machine, weed it, and it then infuses the ink into your material, into your cup. You do have to get Cricut's mugs that are infusible ink ready. That will be very important. You can't just go to the dollar store and purchase a regular old cup. It does have to be a very specific cup, and sublimation ready cups will also work. Iron-on projects. So if you want to create a t-shirt for fall, for instance, you could use that. Maybe a flower on a t-shirt. There you have it. So these are print then cut. You would have to use sublimation, actually, I guess. Actually, no. You could use, Cricut has printable iron-on for light and also for dark colors. So you could use this to create a t-shirt and not use sublimation. You would be using that printable HTV. Leather. If you have a maker, the maker does cut faux leather. It also cuts metal. And then we, of course, have paper cardstock projects, sticker paper to make stickers. The kids love these stickers. And then vinyl projects. And these are going to be a lot of writing projects, images that you want to create for cups, for like tumblers and things like that. And language, of course, it's going to put it into, it's going to give you projects that have these languages on it. I don't actually use this. All my stuff's in English as it stands right now, so I have never used that. Available offline. If you download stuff, you can use your Cricut offline. Licensed content. Cricut does offer some licensed content that you do have to pay for. Even though I'm an Access member, I would not be able to get these for quote unquote free. I would have to pay for them because it is licensed material. So just keep that in mind. Also, be very careful. You cannot sell licensed material projects, whether it be from Cricut or if you grab it from Google. You could get yourself in some trouble. So please read up on that before trying to sell licensed projects. There's Sesame Street, so cute. Star Wars, Warner Brothers, and then Cricut brand, I guess is what this means. No, I don't know why it says Cricut. I thought it would have had like a Cricut Cutie or something. And then Creator. Cricut has a contributing artist program. If you see these icons looking like this, that means that somebody who works with Cricut has created this design and it's their design that they share with us. And then we just have Cricut as a creator, and that means that Cricut is the one that created this and is sharing these designs with us. A lot of these designs you do have to pay for, but stick with me. I'll give you so many tips and tricks on how you can go about not purchasing the design space, the Access membership, and you can bring designs in from other avenues such as Google, Canva, Creative Fabrica. So you don't need it, but like I said, I do like it. There's functions in here that don't work without your Cricut Access. So again, keep all of that in mind. We have text, so we're going to add, if you want to add text to your design, this is where you would do it. When you add text, your fonts are up here. These are your Cricut fonts. Your system fonts are just pretty much what you would see in Word under fonts. But also, if you download a font, this is where you will pick it up from after it's downloaded. And then bookmark, same concept. The ones that you like and you click on the bookmark button here will go into your bookmarked tab. Recent fonts that you might have used will be here. You can search. So if you have a bookmark font and you know the name, you can search for it rather than having to scroll, especially if you have a lot of fonts bookmarked. So that's one option. You can also, under Cricut, look at them. Cricut has categories for fonts up here, and you can, pick a couple to search through them, or you could just pick one. If you wanted a vintage font, and you can go ahead and start searching through there for a font that you like. You can also filter. If you want a writing font, for instance, you can click on writing, and then it will bring up all your writing fonts, because you do need a thin font. Otherwise, it's going to leave a gap that would have to be colored in. So that's it for fonts. The next thing would be phrases. Phrases will give you anything that has a phrase in it. So open 24 hours, craft room, imagine, create, inspire. That'd be really cute for the front door of your craft room if you have one. Editable images. This is just another spot to grab it from. We did go through this before, but if you see any projects with this blue like this, that means you can go ahead and change the name. I'll just bring this one in and I'll show you. Just like that. Prior to Cricut releasing this update, you weren't, like I said, we're not able to change a name in an image that was in Design Space. Upload. Upload is where you would upload an image that you either found on Google, created outside of Design Space, let's say in Canva, for instance, or a photograph you want to bring in for a project, or Creative Fabrica or Fabrica, or I think it's called like Design Bundles or something. There's another one. So this is where you'll upload it. And I really feel like this needs its own video, so I will do that at a later date. Monogram allows you to create a monogram right here. You can go ahead and grab one that you like. You type in your your initials that you want in your monogram, how you want it to, what operation type you want, cut and draw. And you can choose between these ones, these modern, elegant, handwritten, and vintage. And then we can add that to canvas. Just like that, you have a monogram created. So that's it for the left side. And this is very overwhelming, but please stick with me. I promise it's going to get easier and easier every day. And there you have it. That is all I have as far as downloading Design Space goes. All the functionalities of Design Space. It's a lot. Don't feel overwhelmed. Come back, maybe save the video so that you can come back if, you move to the next step and you want to try it out and you're like, hey, Melissa said XYZ in her video. Let's go back and look. That's why part of the reason why I went through it, but it also will give you an idea of what is available to you if you don't pay for access. But if you also pay for access, or if you decide to pay for access, then you can see the other functions that are available to you. So keep all those things in mind and go from there. You don't have to pay for access right away. There's a lot of free images and ways to download images, which I will be doing another series on that shortly. But for now, we're going to leave it here so that we don't have a massive video of all the things that can be done, because I promise you there's a lot that can be done. If you want access and you purchase it from my link, then I will get a small portion of proceeds to me, which just helps me out, with all these, creating all these ideas for you. So the link will be available in the description. So please head on there and sign up for access if you want. Like I said, I absolutely love access. I've had access now for probably about 5 years, I want to say. Just because it's helped me so much, and it just makes things easier to find things in there and use and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Make your decision. If you decide, please use my link, my affiliate link that's in the description. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you out at some point in time. And yeah, happy crafting. Have a fabulous week ahead. Until next week, take care. Bye now.